Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone online. Thanks for joining us today. My name's Ben Adams, and I'm one of our vestry people here at St. Michael's. And we wanted to talk a little bit about giving back to God in our campaign and kind of what that means to me individually and what I can share with you on that. Our route to St. Michael's was circuitous, to say the least, growing up in a very different religious environment for myself and as well as my wife. We knew that as we matured and started having a family that we wanted to have a Christ and God-centered relationship and have that as a demonstration to our daughter. We started shopping around. We started trying to find the place we felt welcomed, comfortable, that nurtured us both emotionally and spiritually. We did a little bit of travel. And for me personally, I went more internal with my faith and wasn't able really to connect with a group of people that we were going to church with. Then we got into an environment where it was just, there's no inclusivity. There was no, it was all very absolute. And I had grown up in an environment where everything was very absolute. And we began looking for something more, something better, something that felt right. And I remember coming in here the first day with St. Michael's. People were shaking our hands. People were welcoming us, the Carlsons, the Lynns, just as if we'd, been away for a little while and came back. And it was just so warm. Mother Catherine was so gracious in how she extended. Just like in the beginning, I start to crack up a little bit when I think about the emotional aspects of what our journey has brought to us. And over the years, it's not been that long, it's only been about 5 years, but over the years we've given ourselves to become much more participative, become involved in as many ways as we could. Always wanting to bring a level of communion to our group, especially as we redeveloped and rebuilt from our COVID days and the time the pandemic kept us away from each other. For me, coming back in and being a part of the vestry and seeing what we have in our beautiful church here, the works that we've done, the building, the expansion, the growth that we've had over the years and what we have now, it became obvious that there were things that we needed to do to help. And at the time, a lot of it was giving of talents. It was sharing the gifts that we'd had through what we knew how to do with our hands and how we could work with people. It became obvious after that was all great. We had a lot of fun, but we need a little bit of help around here with some of the stuff going on in the building. And so although this isn't maybe as glamorous as some of the undertakings we've had in terms of giving back to God and what we need with what we're asking for in this special pledge, it's what we need to have the preventative maintenance to keep what we've got so we have something strong and safe moving forward into the future. And for me, treasure has not always been the thing I've had an abundance of. So for us, we looked at, okay, well, what are we doing that we could possibly change and repurpose? And, we don't need to eat out as much. I cook pretty good. We don't need to stop by Starbucks as often, and I work at Starbucks, so that says something right there. We have a few things that, we don't necessarily need that big a trip that we were thinking we had to have. There's some beautiful things that we haven't seen right here around town and around our state. Because we care about where we come together, where our spiritual lives are. That's what has given us the impetus to say, okay, we'll repurpose some of these funds and not just squirrel it away for when we do want to do these other things. We want to make sure and do our part that we can May not be the biggest check that comes in by any means, but every little bit helps. And it feels good. It feels good to be thinking that way. It feels good to be in a space and in a fellowship where it feels worth it, and it feels appreciated, and it feels like it's the right thing to do. And that hasn't always been my experience throughout my life when it comes to special drives and things like that. So I just wanted to share that for me, this is a deeply personal, foundational piece of what we do as a family and what we do as a congregation here. And that's just keep what we've got, what we've been blessed with, and keep it up, and have ourselves ready to move forward even further and stronger in the future. So that's what I would like to share with you.
Thank you, Ben.
Mike?